finish line. Get your seatbelt up. On your mark. Get set. Go.
Top Truck Challenge 2014, presented by 4-Wheel Parts.
Tank Trap!
Hey! The California drought has left us with not as much water. But the canyon section hasn't changed much, but after this, they've got 5 more holes. The canyon section is one of the only mainstays of this tank trap. It doesn't change much, but it does have deep, slick holes. Hole number 2, we do have enough water for that. It's deep. They're gonna get their tires soaking wet, and then they've gotta grab onto that granite wall right in front of them and into the canyon. And they get extra points for hitting the rubber ducky.
On your mark. Get set.
The rig is on the way. Rig is on the course.
Name's Rob Inglis from Calgary, Canada, Alberta. I'm running a 96 Dodge Ram. It's got a 512 big block in it, turbo 350 transmission, 205 black box transfer case, Rockwells. We've been planning for Top Truck Challenge for many years now. We've built a truck around this event. We actually built a little tire, and there's a big grocery list of other things that we have done for it.
Rob English takes the dive into it. If he does well here, he could come out champion. He is one of the points leaders. Now, as I said, he's one of the top contenders. He's been doing great in all the events. If he has a stellar, perfect, flawless performance here in the tank trap, he could pull a victory and come home with a trophy. Sporadically throughout the tank trap, we have put up anchor points for them, straps with D-rings hanging from the trees, so they know exactly where to go to, so they don't harm any of the other trees. Now, this is not the first time we've seen this, but he's going to let that wheel roll against the canyon wall. He is turning up. He should be turning his wheel slightly into the cliff. But as he turns away, he's hoping that that little wheel on top will hit the wall. But he's also taking it in the fender. As you can see, his fender is snagging onto the cliff wall. He's got to take the time to feather those tires slightly into the wall to raise the center of gravity up. So there he goes. Now Rob's making good progress through the ledges. He's coming into the next section here. Wait, his rear steer is pointed in the wrong direction. He's crawling up the side of the hill. What? Oh, he's over on his side. What is up with that?
Show me the little one. Here.
So here's the challenge here. He's right in between the canyon and ledges. At this point, we don't have a lot of pre-made winch points. So he's looking for a place to winch to.
Back wheel to driver's side.
But this is a really good self-extraction underway. Whoa! Once he gets it underway, he's got to fire that motor up.
He's at 21 minutes in. He just got back on 4 tires. We're unhooking the winch cable, and they'll be coming up in a minute.
Their winch snatch block disconnected from the tree at this point. Be advised when they come up, there's probably going to be snatch block. They're on their way, and they just roll over again. Did the exact same thing they did the first time with the rear steer. Back on their side. Time! That's it, boys.
Pretty much ruined every chance he has for winning the competition. He was one of our top runners.
Brother, you got to talk to me. Valiant effort. You were flying up this. You were making great time. What happened to kick you over twice?
We blew the rear steer hose here. Steering went turned back. We kept hitting this ledge, and you've seen us go over twice, same ledge.
So I guess in Canadian you could say you're hosed, eh?
Eh?
I'm Rick Jensen. I'm from Valley, Nebraska. I'm driving a 1963 International Harvester Scout. I'm running a fuel-injected Dodge 440 in it. I've got the dual transfer cases. Of course, everything's filled with AMSOIL fluid. running dual steering Rockwells. And what took me to that truck was my dad's 1962 Scout that I learned to drive in and kind of grew up riding around in.
Rick Jensen slowly and cautiously makes his way up to hole number 1. Remember, hole number 1 is dry. He's headed into hole number 2. Now, he's got smaller tires than most. He's only got 44s, only 44s. And he's headed into hole 2, so his engine's going to be a little lower in the water than most of the other competitors. Let's see how he handles it. Oh, and sure enough, waterproofing is essential. Looks like he drowned something out.
Moving slowly forward, trying to get the engine out of the water with the starter. They're out of the vehicle, pulling the hood open.
Not good. They are stuck in hole 2. Engine will not start. They're both out of the vehicle and they have the hood open right now.
Here's Rick Jensen in hole 2, another high performer throughout this competition, high in the point standing, and this is really bad luck. Motor stalls in hole 2. They're trying to get it to turn over.
Ready? Yep. All right. Just toggle in and out.
Okay, so for all you future Top Truck Challenge competitors, here's a tip for you. Make sure you spool your winch out before each event to make sure there's no tangles.
Working it, go on. Out.
So the problem he's got right now is he's using that battery for not only winching but also trying to start the motor. He can't get it to kick over. Robin, do you have an idea of what's wrong?
What I think is going on here is that entire engine and all of the exhaust bank was completely underwater. That's exactly what happened to Kevin Kalin and I back in 2000 when we got into hole 3. The distributor was dry, but somehow water got in and hydrolocked the motor. So when your exhaust system is completely submerged, water goes back up the exhaust, goes inside the valves and fills up the pistons. Any valve that's open at that point, that particular cylinder gets filled up with water.
I'm putting this breather on now.
What he has to do is basically get all the water out of it. And by cranking it over, hopefully it's going to fire here in a minute.
Pin back right now.
So he did get it up out of the water, and yeah, it's going to be touchy to see if he can get this thing started back on the trail. Once again, he was one of the high performers here, and he had a great chance of getting through the tank trap. Remember, the tank trap is double the points. You cross the finish line in the tank trap, you're looking pretty good. You can smell the fuel coming out of its exhaust. That means that its ignition is not firing in all cylinders. He's probably on 3, 4, 5, 6 cylinders, but definitely a lot of fuel in the air.
He's making his way up to the knoll in the canyon.
That's the devil knoll.
Now here's the challenge he's got. He's had problem with water in hole number 2. He still has at least 3 more holes that have water in them.
9 minutes, guys, 9 minutes. All right, thank you.
What are you looking for, guys? What are you looking for?
Trying to find where our wicked miss is. We can't get any power out of it. We got no power. And we're not finding moisture in the common areas. Go ahead and put it back. Good job on that.
Time!
Good job.
I don't know exactly what happened. We hit that water and something got wet right off the bat. We checked the distributor cap, that was dry as a bone. Everything we're finding is good and dry, but we're basically running on maybe 3 or 4 cylinders. So we'll find some little hitch, start it up, and probably motor right on out of here.
Hi, I'm Tracker Jay Bain. I'm from Myrtle Creek, Oregon. It's a 1969 Ford Bronco. It's a cancer survivor, so I went ahead and built me a wheeler out of it with 1-ton axles, 4-speed doubler, 4-link, coilovers, big block Ford, full cage, and this thing should be ready to tackle anything we got here today.
Now as Tracker Bain comes into hole number 2, he's got a lot of things going for him. He's had some rough starts, but some good showing, so he's kind of in the middle of the pack. Now, if he does well here in the tank trap, this could really help him in his pursuit chasing the leaders. Now, he's got a very well-built rig, and these guys seem very experienced. But once again, hole number 2 lives up to its reputation and sticks him right there on the granite wall. It's time to winch.
Pretty good. Stop. Spotter's got the strap back in. It looks like they might pull the cable.
Now, they're doing great. They just blitzed right through the canyon and ledges section. Very little hang-ups, just a couple winches, but they're working great as a team. Now, Tracker is one of the only competitors that has a standard transmission, but he works with that seamlessly, and it's no issue. Look, and they're in hole 3, and they're having a blast. They're coming into hole number 4. It's dry, but we've got some surprises for them. Oh, hey, there's Nemo. Check out our oil pan, Nemo. Ooh, now that's a hard hit. That's a steep wall right there, and it's cut deep, and it's solid. There's no giving it whatsoever, so they're going to the winch. Yes, our patented super glue in hole number 6 sticks him. So he's got a winch. Now he's opting to do a long winch. Instead of a short, straight winch, he's going to kind of winch off to the side. This could be risky. It might pull him off to the side, and he might get off course, but it might work for him and save him from having to reconnect his winch later. Let's see how this works. This rig is a classic. It's so cool to see guys come with classic rigs to Top Truck Challenge. Beautiful, not a beater. It's gorgeous, and he's kept such good care of it through the tank trap that he could go home, wash it, and take it for a Sunday drive. They're hustling it. Listen to that Ford motor power scream.
Made it. Well, it worked. That Ford was singing the whole way. Not a stumble, not a stumble. That was awesome. Congratulations, guys. You are the first ones up here. Now remember, this can really help you. Double the points for the tank trap.
Perfect.
And
That's
you're
what
on the
we're
right
playing.
side. Good job.
Yeah.
Richie Tremblay, aka Pork Chop, he's a madman wheeler. He wheels with a passion. If you ever seen him before, he is crazy. So if he can make it quickly through the tank trap with no hangups, he can definitely help his score because he's had some bad breaks here at Top Truck Challenge. Top Truck Challenge will find the weak points in your vehicle and exploit them.
My name is Richie Tremblay. I'm from Strathmore, Alberta, Canada, and I'm here at TTC 2014 to bring the trophy home to Canada. My truck is a 96 Chevy S10 that originally started life as a 84 Chev 3/4 ton. I've got 2.5 ton Rockwells, both steer axles, coilover shocks, front and back with 4-link front and back. It's got a 496 big block, a turbo 400, 205 T-case, built in my garage by my hands.
Once again, hole number 2 has stuck him temporarily. He's going to try a different line and see if he can get up over that ridge. No, hole 2 is sticking him fast. At the end of hole number 2 is a solid granite wall. Typically it's covered with dirt and you can't see it, but once they polish it with their wheels, you can see the rock underneath. And when it's wet, there's no traction whatsoever. So it's gotta be the winch. Once again, that worn winch pulls them right out. Those worn winches are waterproof. Just dunk them in the water. Don't worry about it, they'll work.
They were making fairly good progress, but now they're stuck on the waterfall right here in the canyon section, and they're kicking up a lot of dust, but making no progress. Richie pulls into hole 4. It's dry, remember, no water in it. And he goes towards that solid wall, solid mud, and he hits it hard. Ooh, that's gotta hurt. Motor's stalled. Trying to figure out what's wrong.
Plenty of time. You guys got a little over 10 minutes left.
Looks like they're dead in the water. It's not starting. And remember, he had some electrical problems before. That's what you saw him checking. Doesn't seem to be the issue right now. Seems to be still connected, and the connections are tight.
Never mind, I know the problem. See it, the whole mixer assembly.
All right, they called it at the bottom of hole 4. Their propane mixer carburetor broken in half.
I was quite surprised at how steep the banks are to get to a couple of those wedge points. Those trees are up there, it's straight up and down. Good thing I'm so svelte, those roots might have ripped out. But no, she was a good hill. You gotta live the moment, live the experience. That's the only way to really, truly understand what it's about. Thank you. Appreciate it, guys.
Good show. So Richie, he hit that wall at the hole 4 so hard that it broke the bolts that held his mixer to the manifold. That's what stopped him.
My name's Daryl Horley. I'm from Kelowna, British Columbia, Canada. I drive a 1991 Ford pickup, F250. I got a big block Ford 472 in it, C6 automatic, 2.5 ton Rockwells, 54 boggers, 4-link. It's a pretty simple but strong setup, and we've been rebuilding it the last couple months, and finally got her finished, and figured we'd come here and see what kind of mess we can make of it.
All right, we will see. And here comes Daryl in his big black Ford. He's going to see if he can navigate that through the hole 2. Now, the advantage that he would have is his wheelbase, but that rock is slick, and it doesn't look like he's going to have the opportunity to show off and get out. Best part of the show. Winching doesn't get better than this. Okay, they're out of hole 2. Quick winch job. They're gonna make slow work of this canyon here. Spotter is out to pave the way. There we go. So he's doing a good job, even though his tranny is slipping pretty bad. He's doing a good job of riding the canyon walls, using the winch. Good combination of spotter ability and driver. So what do you think of our tank trap now?
It's definitely what it's all about. I just wish we didn't lose our tranny, because I think we could have made it all the way.
To see over 155 minutes of exclusive hardcore off-road action, get the Top Truck Challenge feature-length DVD Director's Cut. For in-depth coverage of all the competitors, their trucks, and extreme off-road action, order the 2 DVD set at 4wheelparts.com or download on iTunes or Google Play now. Still not hooking up. He's trying to find the right gear combo, get the right wheel spin. There it is! Got the perfect wheel spin, and look at him articulate through those humps.